All right, away we go. It's so hot today. I'm just wiped out. But I realized, okay, I've probably been working about 11 days in a row or something like that. I don't know. Is that my cousin? Oh. Richard. All right. So we're heading off. And don't see any kids at the splash pad. They'll be there. I think tomorrow's the grand opening for the splash pad. Or Saturday. I think it might be Saturday. Saturday's the 1st. So that'll be Happy Canada Day. And Saturday, Sunday, Monday I think is the 4th. So that'll be for the Americans. Yeah. So I'm gonna head out, pay my bank. Or my bank. Pay my credit card. It's coming down. It's coming down. I gotta get that debt wrangled first before I can do anything else with it. But once I do, then I got a bunch of things. Like I'm probably gonna buy my chainsaws that way. I was gonna buy them in July, but I think it's just it's. I gotta think about the monthly payments. Through the winter, right? Because I don't usually have hardly any income in the winter, so what happens is I have to be able to come up with the monthly payments, right? And if I overspend, that my payments are going to be too high, right? So I keep my debt as low as I can in the winter. If I have to run up a bit of debt in the winter, I do, which I did. Yeah, so it does, the credit card is a buffer zone for me, but it's also a double-edged sword. You have to be very careful with it. Like I say, if you need a credit card, don't get one. If you don't need it, get one. And I didn't really need one, but it just, it buys me a little time, you know what I mean? Oh, geez. Oh, poor turtle. Did I miss him? Oh, don't hit him, don't. Oh, he made it. He made it. He dodged 2 trucks. He's like, holy shit, that guy had brown eyes. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's like, there's a lot of turtles they're all laying their eggs right now, but they always have to cross the road to lay the eggs. I guess they figure that crossing the road's actually safer, right? It's just the way turtles are. And it pains me when I see a dead turtle. It really pains me when I see a big dead turtle, because you know when they're the size of a hubcap or bigger, that they're about 60 to 100 years old when they're that big, right? And yeah, so I try not to kill them if hitting a deer's bad, but I think hitting the deer's bad because it wrecks your vehicle, but hitting a turtle, it's just like they have such a hard time to survive as it is, you know what I mean? I mean, we're not in a turtle shortage or anything like that around here, but it's just, you don't want to create that either, right? So, if you could save the little buggers, save the little buggers, right? Yeah. So, very hazy out, very hot, lots of pop bottles. I'm gonna go pay my credit card debt. I usually always pay more than the minimum. If you pay the minimum, you can kind of like never pay it off, right? They've changed it now that they used to go just the interest, right? You paid just the interest. So in theory, you could never pay it off. Now it's like, okay, you got to pay enough to be able to pay it off, right? Which, they should have done that right from the get-go. But what I can't figure out is how they calculate the monthly payment. Like, it's not proportional to the percentage that they're taking of the interest, right? So I don't know how they calculate that payment. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. My monthly payments don't make sense. Are they calculated on like a a 5-year payment plan, a 10-year payment plan, a 4-year payment plan, a 3-year, a 1 year. I don't know. So I don't know, you know, is it just a percentage of what you spent, last spent? I don't know. It's really hard to tell how to calculate that. So I'm gonna have to call them. Because I'd like to know that. That'd be a very good thing to know. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of, if you know that, and then at least you're not stuck, you know, guessing, you know, how much is my monthly going to be? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty hazy. Not as hazy as it was the other day. Was really bad. But I figure with the 3 days of rain, that probably helped. And it probably helped just enough to like, it's like, if it's really smoky, it's usually because it's dousing the fire, right? So, I mean, not much fire you're gonna have smoke, don't get me wrong, but yeah. But hopefully it, you know, we get a little bit more rain, because we need about a week of rain to really get things wet enough. But you can see now it's not as dry. So, but mind you, when the fire's that big, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It'll burn water, you know what I mean? Like, it takes a lot to stop a fire that big. So, if, you know, rain keeps raining, at least then that way, it helps to, you know, give less to tinder to burn, right? So, yeah, so hopefully we'll be through the fire season fairly soon. It all depends on Mother Nature at this point. Yeah. So, yeah, so I'm heading up to Gracefield. Hope you guys are enjoying my, like, bass videos that I've been putting up and guitar videos. Today would have been today's the 29th at the making of this video. Would have been the day I would have jammed with the Jimmy's Dead band, but because they're going with the other guy, if I do get into that band, which I might not be able to because they're the distance, right? Like getting from here to Maniwaki is not a big problem, but it's in this thing, it's very expensive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't take this thing, I don't joyride this thing, you know, like, I wish I could, you know. Like, I wish we had like 90, like today's wages with 90s prices of gas, like 45 cents a liter. Then you drive one of these around just for fun. You know what I mean? At $1 a liter, you could sort of drive around for, maybe not for fun all the time, but you could, you know, go on an adventure. And I do love driving this thing, I really do. It's a fun truck to drive. You know, even though I don't do any hooligan stuff with it. Like, if I had like 2 backup trucks, I'd probably hooligan a bit more, but yeah. But no, I really want to get some paying gigs really soon. Yeah. Bad brakes, I know. Because like, it would be nice to be able to, like, even if I don't make a lot of money at it, which you can make a lot of money at being a musician. Don't kid yourself. You can make ridiculously stupid money. But, I guess I better wait for these guys. I'm brave, but I'm not crazy brave, right? So, I don't like cutting people off. Richard's behind me. What's he waiting for? Gonna be here all day. Put off the big truck. Especially right here, like people, like they start speeding up here, even though they're not supposed to speed up until past the sign there. But they start speeding up right there and they zip around people. So, like, it's not the guy you see, it's the guy that's coming around the corner that you don't see that's coming too fast, right? Because people speed through the town. Usually the cops get them, but they got big trucks like right on my tail. You know what I mean? So you don't think, you think you got lots of time, but then you got guys like that, you know, law of tonnage, like that guy was like right on my tail, like, you know, it's like, because he's expecting me to take off like a rocket, but I do the speed limit, right? So, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I, you know, like, I'm a safe driver, I'm an eco driver, mainly because I'm poor, but also because like that's how you get the maximum out of a vehicle. Is you just easy acceleration, whatever. You only jam on it when you have to. You have to understand, when you have a V8, right? And the young lads don't get this at all. They just think these things are powerhouses all the time. And they're right, they are powerhouses. But torque breaks stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, so you don't jam on it. You work your way up to the power. Unless you necessarily, like if you're in a bog maybe. Yeah. Oh, there's the jet. That's the mechanic there. I think that's the mechanic. No, it's not. It's not high enough. His is higher. He's got his jacked up. But anyway, but the point I'm making is that, like, you've got a lot of power and a lot of torque. And when that power and torque kick in, it really, really tears things up easily. It might not do it all the time, but it only has to do it once to have a really bad day. Rip your transmission, wreck the torque converter if you're an automatic, burn your clutch if you're standard, twist a drive shaft, twist the cam, blow a push rod, bend a push rod. Yeah, all kinds of bad stuff can happen. So that's the downside to trucks, is you don't know who had them first and what kind of hooligans have been driving them. So it's like cows. Well, the cows are standing up, so that means it's not going to be raining, according to the cows. So when you get a truck, especially a used one,